Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nerds with Dice. I am Mary, one of your resident nerd on wheels, and I'm so excited to be bringing an entire campaign of Vaesen to you guys. This has been a long time coming. We have been running a few one-shot shots and mini series, peppered across a couple different places, some right here on Nerds with Dice. But now we get to dive into a full campaign set in the world of Mythic Ireland. Before we dive into Vesson, uh, let's do some introductions. The way we do introductions, we'll do popcorn style, which means that I will pick someone at first. You go through your regular introductions, and then you pick someone else, and then we go until we get all the way back to me. Uh, but we're going to start with our guest, Lewis.
That's me. Hello, I'm Lewis Wolf, pronouns he, him. I'll be playing Delilah Hall, pronouns she, her, renowned detective. Your problems are her paycheck. And I will popcorn it over to my grand consequence, Steve.
I am Steve, Tall Halfling on the socials, Tall Halfling RPG over on Threads. And tonight, tonight I am Mr. Williams, your butler. I shall endeavor to make your visit an agreeable one. Good evening to you. And I'll toss it over to Crimson.
Hi everyone, Crimson Soul, he, him. Today I'm playing Violet Eklund, just a wanderer trying to find her way back home, the home that no one has heard of. And I like keep my eye on this. I like keep my head on the swivel, and I've got my dog with me. Say hi, Ian. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Celadona.
Hi, I am Ran. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight and henceforth I will be Celadonna Lasecoil, witch.
And as we dive into things, I quickly want to give a content warning for this game. This is a horror game. Desson is set in historical fiction and deals with some mature themes, such as death, psychological horror, body horror, grief, uh, creepy monsters, folklore ghosts that like to creep within the shadows. If these kind of themes are a little bit too dark for your evening, we have plenty of shows coming up on Nerds with Dice that would love to have you see. Please prepare yourself and take care of your mental health when coming into these shows. This is a show that will deal with darker themes and also real life situations. If this is something that isn't comfortable for you, like I said, we do have other fantastic shows in VODs that uh, are just as amazing and wonderful. But as we get into things, welcome to the world of Vesson. It is similar to our own, but ever so slightly different. This is a game of historical fiction, and it's set in the late 19th century, about 1890s to be exact. The world is quite an interesting place in Vesson because not only is it the rumblings of industry, but magical creatures reside alongside humans. You just can't see them. If you hear whistling in the middle of the night, you better not look behind you because some sort of creature could be creeping in, following you through your shadows. If you hear crying at the lake, prepare because La Llorona could be nearby. This is a world filled with darkness, but also light. We find our players today in the wonderful Emerald Isle, Ireland. It is currently occupied by Britain, but there are rumblings of revolution. As we bring our camera into focus, we settle on the small town of Galway. Now, Galway, as we know it today, is quite a bustling city filled with music and the arts and a wonderful port city. But back in the 1890s, it was actually quite struggling after the famine. The famine hit Ireland hard and caused mass immigration to the Americas and many other places. But Galway is just starting to make it back to what it once was. It has about 800 people currently. New businesses are opening every day as the city becomes lively once again. For the most part, it's a rural community. Farms and tenant workers are plentiful. Large estates that have been newly bought up by the English elite are trying to make their way in Irish society, but they don't have the tools that the locals do to deal with the Vessen around them. That's where the society comes in. The Apollonian Society, as of now, governs England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, the four nations. They rule with an iron fist, as it were, the Apollonian Society, constantly keeping watch over Vessen and sending investigators out on expeditions to hopefully deal with the situation before it gets out of control. Most situation with Vessen is simply a misunderstanding. Humans don't remember the old ways. They don't remember the tenets and the covenants that were once made and up kept by the locals. Simply leaving out a glass of milk and a thimble of honey was the way to pacify the uh, the fair folk of the other world. Much of this is forgotten, and the society aims to help mediate these misunderstandings. If they have to, they will banish, but it is more so focused on trying to make the situation as peaceful as possible without many people knowing. The Apollonian Society, while they don't necessarily hide their involvement in things, it's not really welcomed to the world either. The Apollonian Society very much is tied to the British government. And so all of you would have different identification regarding your standing should you need to get into places you would not normally be allowed to go. But it's very much regarded as uh, untrustworthy at times. People don't know what to think of the Apollonian Society. They don't really know what it does. It seems like some sort of government shadow organization. And truth be told, they like it that way. The less the public knows, the easier it is to control. We find our players this evening, our investigators, residing in the city of Galway, specifically at William Stuckley III, one of the five families of the Apollonian Society. Mr. Stuckley has been quite the active individual in the Apollonian Society of late, actually guaranteeing a new headquarters to be reestablished in Ireland. Now, some may think that he is simply following in his family's footsteps, but you all know different. You see, every single one of you has dealt with Vessen in Ireland and the misdeeds of the Apollonian Society. William Stuckley is a sort of double agent, as it were. He is trying to right his family's wrongs and hopefully find out more of the secret society Ireland once had. And to do that, he has bought Menlo Castle. It is quite the estate built alongside the river. Beautiful greenery growing up the walls, although it is a bit, how would you say, needs some renovations. It's a fixer upper, as it were. Now, you all know that you are supposed to be moving in today. The castle isn't fully furnished yet. There are many rooms that still need a little tender loving care, as it were. but it is well enough to be able to move into and live in safely. So as our camera kind of zooms in on this portside town, we're going to start off first with Violet. Where do we find Violet this day uh, before their meeting with William Stuckley?
Um, we're going to find Violet in. I feel like if we're like moving in and we're kind of just like getting my stuff acclimated, Violet is in a room that's supposed to be hers and is feeling very uncomfortable because the room is too large. Violet, as a vagabond that spends a lot of time traveling, their home is somewhere far away that they don't know, and they've just kind of been on the road, picking up like places, been staying in places mostly for jobs. So now it's like the concept of staying here long term is like, this feels weird. It's just me and you, buddy. Even like Ian is kind of like pacing around this room inside of this castle, just like, yeah, I don't know about this. I set all my stuff out and it only covered the dresser. um, but yeah, just kind of like pets my dog and just like sits around and is nervous, waiting for whatever's happening next.
Violet, you've begun to move your stuff in. You'll officially be given the keys and the deed later today, but you've at least, knowing Violet, uh, mayhaps lockpicked her way in to see the castle a little bit early. Uh, it just maybe not. Maybe the
No.
door just magically opened. Who knows?
Really
But
should have gotten better locks.
yeah, that is fair. That is one thing you will probably need to work on is the security of Medwood
Mm-hmm.
Castle.
Mm-hmm.
But as you look around, there is definitely a strange feeling that when you walked into the castle itself. In this room, it's rather cozy and warm for how big it is. There's a large fireplace on one side, a very nice bed with feather pillows. It's strangely warm for how different it is, but it is a place to call home, especially a home away from home, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what do we see as the camera zooms in on Violet?
Um, it's I feel like it's just kind of like it's just being nervous. Like this is a nice room. Like I said, like there's a drawer in here somewhere. Like all my stuff I had my bindle or whatever is already kind of laid out. And so like I sit on the bed, I get up. Like I'm making Ian nervous because I'm walking around like this. And I'm just like, this would be the perfect time to watch Trinket just kind of like go and clean everything up inside of here. I'm actually kind of missing her now that I think about it. But we can. This kind of like gets up like I had enough of this. Hey boy, you want to go and explore some more spots of the castle? And then I take Ian and I head out the door and I just kind of look into more things that I'm not supposed to be looking at right now.
We see Violet quickly uh, leave the room with Ian behind her, and Ian has been quite protective of you within the castle walls. Like it's a very you've seen this happen before
Mhm.
in new places, but something has unsettled Ian, and it's there are moments where as you're walking through, Ian focuses on a random corner and just begins growling.
Mhm.
Uh, just the hair going down his back just kind of bristles and very much in that like pointer style just stays perfectly still pointing in a direction where there is nothing.
Ooh, you're smelling something. You're seeing something bad right now, aren't you? Oh, you know. Normally, I'd say maybe we shouldn't have snuck our way in here, but I think I would rather know that there's something haunted in here. Let's I'm going like kind of just like starts keeping track. Like we're gonna walk around the castle, and whenever he like starts to seem like he's on edge, I'm gonna go cool, and not that hallway, and not that hallway, and not that hallway.
As you're categorizing the places not to go,
Hmm.
the camera's going to zoom in on our next person, anywhere in Galway. You can decide, but I think we are going to settle in on a interesting duo of Delilah and Mr. Williams.
Excellent.
What do we
Um,
find you doing? What do your characters look like?
I think we're probably right now in the sort of temporary uh place for the Hall of Mysteries, which is Delilah's detective agency. Um, I think right now Delilah is packing things, going through all her various different oddities and curiosities that are like jars and whatnot. Um, but Delilah is a very like handsome woman. She dresses pretty masculine. She has a bob that's like always messy. And the makeup is always like, oh, she did that yesterday and didn't take it off. Um, but right now she is focused on unpacking things up and finishing up any prior cases before moving on to whatever Mr. Steph does.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sure if it's my connection or yours, but I'm having a hard time understanding.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing you as well.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's better. That's better.
I moved my mic closer.
Hey, there we go. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep. Don't know how much of that was zesty, but
I think the captions picked you up. So,
okay, well that's fine. And now my
uh,
mic is closer. We should be okay.
So I'm guessing. I know the place isn't quite ready yet. Only a couple of rooms. So I'm guessing that formal dining room kind of space is not top priority.
they would have a dining room space just because either the dining rooms and sitting rooms are usually where you meet clients or people involved in mysteries. Or more investigations is what the society likes to call them. But there would be a formal dining room that is being set up. Probably not all of like the dinnerware is moved in yet, but like the table and chairs are in there. The little homey touches are what's missing for the most part.
Just as well then that Miss Delilah is holed up in her detective office. Williams arrives with breakfast on a tray. It may only be a plank of wood because that's what we have, but cloth napkin, sterling silver, a candle that he waits until he places it down on the desk to stand up and light. If we were paying attention as Violet was exploring, audience might notice that Williams is coming from a different direction. He has been scoping out the servants' corridors and the servants' stairways and such. Just does not feel right to be marching up the main drag, as it were. And of course, he's been serving Delilah's family for a very long time, so he knows exactly what her favorite is for breakfast, and makes some room and sets things out.
I think her favorite, it's more of like an efficiency thing, so it's probably just like oatmeal. Because like eating takes time away from like her important work.
Very well, very well. He does make a point of having a sprig of parsley gently sinking into the oatmeal, but it's doing the best it can.
I think Delilah will not the most acknowledgement you get is just like a slight nod as she like is continuing to get her stuff ready. Takes out a jar full of could be a frog in there. Weird stuff on shelves. It's all very organized.
I don't think Williams necessarily expects anything more than just just the nod. Takes a step back, available if he's needed. Certainly paying attention, but one does not rush the young lady in her enjoyment of her breakfast.
I think when Delilah eventually goes over to the breakfast, she does take out the parsley, set it aside.
She noticed it. Excellent.
The garnishing is not necessary.
Of course it is. Not to disagree with you, madam, but skipping skipping the notes of civility would certainly not be appropriate. Slumming it as it is, and he's pointing around at this castle.
They're in a castle, yeah. They're fully in a castle. I if you waste time, it doesn't add much, the parsley.
I shall endeavor to come up with something better. Perhaps there's a flower garden outside.
You do not need to. My family's not present. You don't need to be so.
Yes.
You don't need to impress me. I cannot be impressed.
I have noticed. I am not here to impress, merely to make sure that things are done and done as they should be.
Okay.
He looks toward the door and he just can't resist. Anything interesting? And he's sort of sneaking a peek at the desk.
Interesting. No, these are all sort of D tier mysteries. There hasn't been anything interesting in a while. It's just boring. I get paid for it, but it's boring right now. But as soon as I say that, something horrific is going to happen, which is exciting. But, it's the average stuff. I've done better.
Do me a favor, madam, and do not look away too easily from the humdrum, ordinary D level things. I believe we both found that things are not always as they seem.
Okay. Once again, arguing with you benefits no one and wastes time. I'm going to go back to my work. You don't have to just stand here. You can be dismissed.
Yes, madam. Back out and go back to exploring the back alleys, as it were, of their new home.
And then I think, just to put it out there, Delilah 100% warded off her doorway so that Trinket can't get in. And most Vaesen can't. It's warded specifically against Vaesen and very specifically against Trinket. Because, Delilah's office is kind of organized chaos. She has a string board.
organized.
Oregon.
Yes, you absolutely can have your office worded. That should not be too big of a problem until Trinket finds out, of course. And then we'll get to see the aftermath of that. But as the camera pans away from Delilah and Mr. Williams, uh, we next zoom in on another investigator. Where do we find Celadonna, and why do I think it's outside?
Oh
In the
yeah,
best way.
it's of course outside. The castle sits in the foot of a forest. It's a small one, but nevertheless, it's a forest, and it's the Crin Tivsha forest, which means the trees of spirit. Just on the outskirts of Galway, and you see Celadonna. If she was anywhere outside of the forest, if she was anywhere indoors, perhaps inside of the castle, you would have recognized her scent, which she always smells a bit like the petrichor of the slightly wet soil after a summer rain. And the way she looks is a bit of like a forest fire. She's dressed in emerald and gold, and her hair is this fiery red underneath her wide brimmed witch hat. And she's carrying this large wooden staff that's made out of a branch from a rowan tree. And she's currently crouched on the ground underneath a giant crooked um, you're not really sure whether the tree is dead or alive, but there is a hole that looks like it's some sort of portal from a different realm. And she's just sort of drawing symbols on it and listening. She's observing, listening, receiving um, through what looks to be a flower on a vine. And you hear the rustling of her dress, and it sounds a bit like uh what's the word, Scytherism, which means the sound you hear as the wind goes through the leaves of the tree.
I love that. As you're listening and hearing the wind, you have always had a knack for nature, and that is one of the most wonderful things about Menlo Castle is there's so much greenery and plant
Mhm.
life around. The castle walls outside of the estate are all grown over with ivy and moss, and it is quite the beautiful scene as nature has kind of survived amidst the industry that is going on. As you are sitting in the middle of the greenery around you and this hearing the wind, you swear you hear the sounds of a lullaby, like a woman singing very softly, just carried on the wind. It sounds as though it is coming from a room uh, in the actual castle itself, but it carries in a way that is unnatural. Every window is shut, half of them are boarded up and haven't been fixed yet. Yet it sounds as though someone has the window wide open, sitting on the sill and singing a lullaby.
I think she stands up very slowly, and this is when, if there is a camera panning out towards her, you see that she's not wearing any shoes. Her feet are covered in mud, and you can tell that where the tendons and bones would be visible on someone's feet, You can see just so ever so slightly that the bones that's protruding outside of her feet looks a bit like branches from a tree. And she looks up towards the windowsill of the castle and hearing this lullaby will harmonize with it a little bit and under her own breath goes hmm, and she will kind of open her heart and her ears to try to connect with it and see if there's anything she can find out more than just above the surface.
Let's do our first roll of the game.
Yeah.
So in Vaesen is a D6 dice pool system. You take
Mhm.
your attribute, which there are four: force, precision, uh, logic, and empathy.
Yep.
Woo, got it without
Did it.
checking.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've run this before, maybe I don't know.
No
Uh,
way.
but you take your attribute, combine it with a skill, and that is the total number of dice you get to roll. For the most part, you're looking for one success. A six is all you need. Now,
Yeah.
for harder checks, you may need more than one success. But for the most part, let's see whether Celadonna can get a six. And for this check in particular, I would like a observation empathy. So
Okay.
the number under empathy plus your observation number, that's how many dice you roll.
That is a skill that I have. Um, I have two sixes off the bat.
Heck yeah. Well, luckily, one success is all you need. As you are a skilled medium, while not necessarily setting up a seance at the moment, you are able to pick up on threads uh, of life, as it were, or at least where there once was life. If it wasn't present already to Celadonna, you know that you may not only be the only occupants of this house. There may be others. You know, at least one of them is benevolent. And as you harmonize in song with the remnant of whatever ghost creature Vaesen uh, is there, you feel as though this entity is welcoming new guests into the home, that they want you to be there. There are things they want you to discover. What does Celadonna do with that knowledge?
I think she will blink a bit, close her eyes, and go back to the branch first. And she will speak into the opening blossom and say, I've been trying to reach back at you. I've been really concerned of where your life has been. I hope you're happy at the moment within your life, Liam. And I know it's been hard to stay in touch, but you know I wish you for the best. I'll visit. I'll try my best to visit someday. And I reckon I've got a new mystery in my hand at the moment. So wish me well as I deal with the rest of the difficulties. And then she will kind of stand up straight and walk towards the castle and say, well, this wouldn't be the first time I've let in another spirit in my heart. Whatever is whatever it is that's I'm going to discover soon and certain. At the very least, you're welcoming. That's not always the case. That's not always the case.
As you re-enter the castle, um, the camera pans to a clock as it strikes 12 p.m. The grandfather clock in the main hall rings out true. And you all hear, I would say probably the first to hear, just due to the nature of the job, Mr. Williams, you hear a knock at the door. And then the very shrill sound of the doorbell that has not quite been fixed correctly yet, and is more of a nuisance than a warning.
He rolls his eyes at the lackluster work on that bell. They're going to have such a modern thing; it should at least work properly. And he'll go and answer the door.
At the door is William Stuckley III, your current benefactor. That has been a you would be very familiar with the Stuckley family. They are one of the five families, just like the Halls of the Apollonian Society. Very much, you've probably seen him grow up, and he almost always is accompanied by a small brownie named Trinket. She is a bit of a spitfire that likes to organize and clean, but
Mm,
can get a little distracted should there be too many things in front of her.
my
She
biggest adversary.
Yes, it is Delilah's great greatest enemy at this point. But you see them, and then you see a little trinket kind of pop up out of his pocket as he just kind of gives a wave. He does have a briefcase with him. He To describe a little bit of what he looks like. He Very much proper English gentleman, uh, full full suit setup, very straight laced, hair perfectly coiffed. It is actually a little bit longer and shaggier than you're used to seeing. Uh, Probably just because he's has spent enough too much time away from his family, and they have not noticed yet this new hairstyle. But he very much greets you with a warm smile and says, "Mr. Williams, it is so good to see you. It seems you have made this place a home. Uh, I do need to warn you, however, that I believe the society will be sending another butler just to uh, aid in the grand household, as it were. That shouldn't be a problem, I presume."
Certainly not, sir. And good afternoon, little miss. Uh, you can see him bristling with every inch of him, but one does not complain to one's employer.
He says, "Yes, Carlton should arrive by train, probably this evening, if
Not of the
anything is
Dublin
moved.
Carltons, please.
Would you rather me not tell you the truth, or rip the bandage, as it were?"
Oh, sir, I'm sure it will be fine. Every family has a black sheep. Perhaps the Carltons have a white one. Um,
He just kind of like walks in, very nicely, wipes his feet on the rug, very much chuckles, because, as you well know, Carlton is a bit of a stickler for the rules. Uh, and not in the fun way, but in the everything followed to the letter, no nonsense, no fun, just the worst. But he does get the job done, and only withholds his opinions sometimes. That's probably his greatest flaw as a butler, is he does share too many personal opinions with his employers. But he is in the society's good graces at the moment, and is probably, at least you would presume, being sent to monitor what the heck is going on here. But You
Not it is not my place to disagree with the goddess of the world, but we shall see whether he gets the job done. We shall see. Sorry.
you see that no, that is perfect. I love it. As you lead Mr. Stuckley or Lord Stuckley, would be the technical title that he would hold. Uh, as you lead Lord Stuckley into the drawing room, the little sitting room that has been set up for meeting with potential clients, the interesting thing, at least, that you all would know is you all are sort of double agents. Not only are you working for the society, the Apollonian Society, but you all are trying to find and reestablish uh, the original secret society in Ireland. Some of you have done research over the last few months between mysteries. For some of you, it's been longer than others, but uh, you would know that originally there was a society named the Morrigan Society that was the secret organization that dealt with human Vaesen relations. And for our audience, when we're talking about Vaesen, these are creatures from mythology and folklore. Uh, most folklore creatures all exist, they just cannot be seen. And those known as Thursday's Children have an ability called the sight. They can see Vaesen that don't necessarily want to be seen unless there's some sort of magical uh, abilities that even cause those with the sight not to see. But that is very rare and few in between. Those with the sight usually are the ones tasked with figuring out these misunderstandings. And from your knowledge, the Morrigan Society of Ireland uh, eventually just in the 1600s, they just disappeared. No one knows what happened. It happened around the same time as a major major battle between Ireland and England. But after that happened, uh, they somehow disappeared, and there hasn't been many records. But over the course of a few investigations, Violet, you were able to find a few books detailing a lot of the information that is in the Apollonian Handbook word for word, but was written much earlier than the organization was ever created. This has led to some investigation, which led you to the idea of Ireland having its own society originally, finding it named the Morrigan Society, and all roads pointing to this castle in Galway. Lord Stuckley, I'm always going to mess that one up because I mean, technically his father is the Lord, but they call him Lord as well. Uh, walks into the study. Who would be waiting there? Or I guess you all knew the meeting was supposed to be at noon. Um, who do we find in the study sitting area currently?
I mean, I think with the horrible doorbell, that did manage to break Delilah out of her focus, and Delilah is bored and is expecting Stuckley to have something. So I think she's standing there arms crossed just like the resting bitch face. That is Delilah Hall.
He very like warmly welcomes you. You see Trinket just kind of like giving you like the evil eye. Very much does the hand signal of I'm watching you. Miss Lord Stuckley cannot see what she did though, and she just quickly pops down back
She just
into her
raises
little
an
pocket.
eyebrow like,
And he says, "It is a wonderful time to see you, Delilah. It seems like you've made yourself quite at home.
do
I
you
do
have anything horrific going on that you need solved?
Not currently, except I will need all of your signatures on this." And he kind of goes to a table, sets the briefcase down on the table, and sees multiple files from the Apollonian Society that were written up to establish Hawthorne House. The headquarters that they are trying to station in Ireland that you secretly are setting up as the Morrigan Society, but we'll find out more about that later.
So you've only brought paperwork.
Well, yes, that's part of the deal. We act as though we're helping them, and then we can get the resources they have and hopefully find out more about what they've been hiding this entire time. Supposedly, there should be some bits and bobs of information throughout the
Mm-hmm.
house.
And Delilah just kind of ignores Stuckley and starts doing the paperwork, like the most like lackluster, like just like autopilot doing her signature. For someone that deals with like Faye and like she doesn't like read the paperwork. Um
Mr. Williams, you do see this that Delilah is just blindly signing papers.
Well, he will read it doubly carefully before affixing his signature at the bottom. And for what it's worth, madam, he was very kind to bring along your dearest friend in the world, Miss Trinket.
Do you think you're funny?
Only occasionally. It's a very dry wit.
Okay.
Celadonna, do you think you popped in first, or do you think I did?
I think Celadonna went straight to the balcony where the lullaby was heard. So I'm not sure if she's like around, but she's in the castle now for sure.
All right. Because I was gonna say because like I'm also kind of just like exploring my way around. Like if we're gonna be in this big castle, I would like to kind of know what's going on. So it's a very like leisurely making my way back. I've probably like opened a few more doors I'm not supposed to have like, on the way over to be like, so that's what's in here. All right, I'll make note of that. I bet Trinket could fit through that hole. I wonder where it goes. And just kind of like a few more things, and then so I'll say that I pop in first after I've like I'm still late, but like probably not as late as Celadona. Um, Pops in and goes, "Hey Willie, high five," and then says, "And is that Trinket with you? I think I have something for you."
Immediately pops up out of the pocket. You see Trinket, and to describe Trinket a bit, she is a small brownie, one of the fair folk, that wears basically a newsies outfit. She's got like the page boy hat, wearing these breeches that kind of like go below the knee with some stockings. She's got a button up shirt and vest. She's got a short little haircut that she always somehow has just a little bit of dust or dirt on her nose, and just a face filled with freckles and a very bright smile. Definitely one that could be filled with mischief should the wrong person uh, come into play. Delilah.
Delilah.
But
Yeah.
but yes, you see her pop up and she just says, "What you got for me?"
Same thing as always. Pulls a biscuit out.
Just scurries down like just climbing down Lord Stuckley. He eventually, like, noticing that she is like using him like a rock climbing wall, he just kind of like scoops her up and walks her over to you. As she just stands on like the palm of his hand. She's only about like 2 to 3. Nah, I guess she's probably like 4 inches tall in total. Very much like uh, pixie sized, but no wings.
Yeah, it's just like she can like I've got an extra pocket. She just kind of wants to like sit in there and eat. And he goes, "Hey, just for you. I heard you have been on a couple of adventures without me."
Oh my God, it's just been so interesting. Oh, we I have so many stories to tell you. We dealt with this awful man, and then there was a fae, but he was awful. But then he turned into a good guy, and there was curses, and there's all kinds of stuff. And she's just like munching away on this large for her biscuit. Uh,
And while she's doing that, while she's listening to Trinket, she's gonna go, "All right, everyone," and try to act surprised when I say this. The castle's haunted.
It's haunted.
Yep. Walk down a couple of hallways. Ian did not like those
Which
hallways.
ones?
I can point them out. I've run to about six so far.
That's at least B tier.
Hmm.
Do we think it's
uh,
malevolent?
Ian did not want me walking down those hallways, so I would say so, yes.
Delilah looks pretty stoked about there being a malevolent ghost, and Delilah's never stoked. Um,
Hmm.
well, that's more worthwhile than paperwork.
uh, Lord Stuckley just says, I have a few things to finish up. I just need to finish getting the deed set up, figuring out all of your titles, code names that will be for the council.
Hmm.
You all know a little bit about Apollonian society structure. The Council of Elders is a board of directors, as it were. Half of them are elected, the other half are representatives from the five families, those that helped found the Apollonian Society. The Halls and the Stuckleys are some. There are three other main families, and each have either a child or some sort of family representative sitting at this council table. The council, for the most part, is the lead decision makers of the Apollonian Society. Uh, they are in charge of the general policy making as far as how investigations are supposed to go. They deal with any of the inquiries as far as investigator misdeeds. They also help prioritize which missions to go where, and set are the ones that hand out the different resources and allocations of funds to set up new headquarters. Currently, there's no headquarters in Ireland. That has just been a complete oversight. But now, with so many English citizens that have moved to Ireland because of the land prices being as cheap as they are, and the fact that, at least at this point, citizens of Ireland cannot buy land. You know that there have been a lot of issues going on between Vaesen and human interactions. So much so that it wasn't that hard for Lord Stuckley to persuade them into setting a new headquarters. Headquarters, for the most part, are your home base for any kind of expedition. Some expeditions you do have to travel far, but luckily the Emerald Isle is quite small and most places can be traveled within a day's time. The actual headquarters itself, uh, game mechanic wise, can be built out with new facilities, upgraded, and you can even hire personnel, make new contacts, and in general is one of the best ways for investigators to prepare for an expedition. There are specific jobs within a headquarters, but one of the most important is the castle master. The castle master is basically the caretaker and the one responsible for the headquarters. They are tasked with finding the investigators, setting up the groups, and figuring out who best fits what job. At this point, they are making you a small headquarters. So you all are the only investigators, along with a few others that have volunteered their services that live nearby. uh, you all will be taking up the different titles and mantles needed to help run this headquarters. Lord Stuckley, it currently is what is known as a shadow maker, someone that is the liaison between the outside world and the society itself. It very much involves running different aliases, building contacts between the two, and can be quite a dangerous position. Lord Stuckley will be meeting with whoever becomes the castle master once a week, and if he is not heard from, the headquarters immediately goes into DEFCON Red. Uh, the Shadowmaker is usually trusted with a lot of private information that could be very detrimental if gone to the wrong hands. As you all are perusing these documents, figuring out what jobs need done, we're going to zoom our camera in on Celadonna. You, following your intuition and the feeling of that benevolent spirit, you find the room that is tied to that specific windowsill. It is on the upper floor. And when you start walking down this hallway, um, there is a sense of calm and peace, and the sense of welcome.
Hmm. I think she's kind of like she's kind of kooky if you don't understand what she's up to. And she always sounds like she's talking to herself, but she's always talking to some spirit. So she's walking down the aisle, not the aisle, she's walking down the hallway towards the room where the balcony is and singing to herself and trying to communicate and trying to let herself be open continuously. And if you're singing out and then if you want me to hear you, I reckon you need some help, or at the very least you want a friendly pair of ears to listen to you. I'm here. What do you need? What do you want?
Next to you in this hallway, there is just rows of rooms. The strange thing about this castle, and some of you have been able to explore more than others, specifically Violet, it is very easy to get turned around. And sometimes it feels as though that the one hallway you originally went down is not the same one you returned to. Uh, but at least for now, you at least know the path or at least the intention to get to where you need to go, Celadonna. The doorway next to you, you begin to hear a creak as it sounds like the doorknob, specifically the locking mechanism, becomes unlocked and slowly swings open with a creak.
She, no hesitation whatsoever, she's going to step through, and she understands that whenever she encounters a spirit, the easiest and fastest way to figure out what they want and what she can do for them is to be available. So, if it is applicable here, she's going to use her medium power to let it in.
So real quick, go ahead and give me a empathy plus observation to kind of like reach out with your empathy skills. Now, are you wanting to use your like once per session medium ability at this point, or do you want to save that? It just means the medium ability lets you connect in a much easier and safer way. Doing it
Mhm.
without the ability is a little bit more dangerous on your end.
I'm not gonna use it at the moment because I don't know. Like I think there is an innate ability to connect with the spirit that she usually relies on. She opens up herself and becomes more vulnerable when she feels as though that's the only option. So I have got 1 6 here, so she's just going to connect the normal way first.
Uh, you begin reaching out with your own spiritual energy, and luckily, with one success, there you are reaching out to who you want to reach out, and not to someone you don't. Um, you see in the room as like your eyes see something that not everyone does. The room looks like it did a long, long time ago. Uh, it looks in probably 2 centuries earlier as far as style, the technology in the room itself, or lack thereof. Um, the way the rugs and blankets have been woven, you absolutely know you are seeing something from the past. Uh, Sitting at a beautiful vanity, you see a young woman combing her long hair. It is a very rich chestnut color as she combs through her hair singing this lullaby. It doesn't seem as though she has recognized you yet, but you at least are maintaining this vision, at least, of what the ghost is seeing.
Is there something I can do for you? If you've lingered here for so long, you're looking for something or you're waiting for something to happen.
You see her stand, kind of scooting out the little puff seat of her vanity. Uh, she stands before you in a beautiful white gown. Um, Her hair, you see her begin to braid as she looks at you and says, "You're new. I don't get many visitors as of late, but you're new."
I'm new here, but I feel as though I'm ancient in the same way that perhaps you are.
She kind of
Do
like looks at her hands and says, I don't think I'm too old for my age. I'm only 30. I mean, that's a bit of a spinster's age, but
well, sometimes I feel as though I'm 23 and 2300 at the same time. I don't know if that's a relatable experience, but
I can't seem to get out of this room. Could you help me?
where would you like to go?
Anywhere. Uh, I keep repeating over and over the night, as it were, but the day never comes. I
Can
don't
can you
know
show
why the
me?
day never comes.
Can you show me that day that you remember? And you know what? I am actually going to use my once a day medium power to just to like somehow carry her, because if I let her in, I can go elsewhere just to, even just as a tour guide, I can show her the rest of the castle. If she, if her simple request is simply to leave this room anywhere but here.
As you use your medium ability, like performing the seance, everyone in the castle begins to see the lights, both the gas lamps, the candlelight begin to kind of flicker, And you even hear in the grand hallway where there is this beautiful chandelier, the chandelier begin to shiver and quake, those that are downstairs.
I think Delilah sees this. Well, if the castle is haunted, I better go, see to that and stop signing paperwork. If there's anything else that needs to be signed, Williams forged my signature. And Delilah's gonna head off.
Mhm.
Um,
He
Delilah,
jokes, of course.
She's not joking.
as
Again, let
any
Mr. Stuckley know that.
Mr. Stuckley's still filling out paperwork, none the wiser. He's a bit of a
Mhm.
himbo, to be fair. That he's a very kind person, but the brains are not all there. That's why Trinket helps. But is there anyone else going to investigate?
Yeah. Violet is going to do the standard for her of kind of just like walking out the room really quietly when no one notices. Um, Ian is also probably really like adapted to this also, so it's just like this like big Irish setter, and it's both of us just kind of like.
Can I just to make things silly, can I roll to see if I notice and that's also why Delilah leaves?
Yeah, okay. Let's do a uh yes, so vigilance is when you're trying to find your basically is what we're talking about here. So this would
Oh, stunning.
be
That's logic, baby.
vigilance and logic.
You're cooked. Okay. I have 6 dice in logic. Let's go. 4, 5, 6. Let's roll this. That's 2 6s.
So what like I would say probably Delilah, you see the tail end of Violet leave. Violet has basically created such a great skill at being able to leave undetected. How does she do this so well? What is her way of kind of fading into the background? Like what does Delilah see at this point that no one else does?
Um, I'm going to say that Violet, as a survival skill of having been on the road for so long, is very good at telling where people's attention is. She likes to sit in the back and be as unnoticed as possible at all the time. And so like she can catch a moment when it's just like it's like in video games when like you finally hit stealth and like the area around you gets darker like on the outsides of the camera. She looks up around the room and she's like, no one is paying attention to me right now. This is the perfect time for me to do something. And so then at that moment where she's just like no one like she knows how to move across the floor. She knows how to move across ground so that she doesn't make a sound. And now she knows why her dog is also equally good at it. So the two of them just kind of like it is kind of like a moment, I'd say for you, Delilah, where like there's nothing super special about this moment. You might have just like remembered for a second that I was in the room because I hadn't been talking when I was filling out the paperwork as part of like the not drawing attention to myself. So just like, wait, when was the last time I saw? And then you see like the hem of like my skirt or something as like the dress or something as I'm like going out the door, and it's just like, oh yeah, like you just caught on a little bit faster.
I think as you walk away very, very silently, Delilah
Mhm.
approaches and is like, so you said there's haunted hallways?
Ah, so
Always
that's what
vigilant, my
that
dear. You
feels
can't
like.
really get past me.
You know, don't give me a challenge.
It would make things less boring, that's for
Mm.
sure. But potentially malevolent spirit in the castle. Let's get back to that.
You know what? Yeah, sure. I haven't seen anyone turned inside out in a while. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. two people that should not be stoked about this. We're kind of psyched.
Just, you know, like ready to roll the dice on whether it'll be you or me. But I feel like Ian, at the very least, will start biting and like pulling me back the moment it's just like, hey, this is not a place where you should be.
And that's exactly where Delilah wants to be.
So yeah, off we go. And like probably the thing you'll notice the most is that Violet does not make sounds while walking across this creaky wooden floor, and it doesn't even really look like she's like stepping carefully or anything. You know, like as you're like walking around, you know, like when you're like trying to sneak upstairs or something, or like to bed when everyone's asleep, and like the stairs creaking and everyone knows where you are. She just doesn't really do that enough. She moves real quiet.
I think this is one of those sometimes rare moments where Delilah's like, yeah, no, this is you being competent at something. Delilah has thoughts about you being so friendly with Trinket and what that says about your character. But at this current time, you know, it's like, yeah, okay.
Actually, you know what? That might have also been the thing too, because Trinket's in my pocket still, right? So like you were just like, you know,
my senses were tingling.
Yeah, you were just like, something feels a little bit wrong right now, like better right now than it did before.
It's like, it's quiet.
Yeah. You followed the annoyance and like you saw like Trinket in the pocket as like the door was going out the way. I was going out the door. Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, sure, fine, let's go find out. And then start heading back down the hallways we were heading to before.
Yes, you begin to head out of the downstairs area, up the stairs, and this is what's a little strange about this castle. As I said before, it seems like the hallways don't always look the same as they should. As you get upstairs to the hallway that you had previously walked down, it was very dusty, decrepit. You had to be careful of which spots that you would walk across for fear that the wood rot, your foot would accidentally break through the floorboards. As you walk upstairs currently, you see a beautiful stair runner rug running up the stairs and across the middles of the hallway that absolutely before looked way more ratty and mouse eaten. It looks perfectly kept. There are candelabras mounted on the walls to provide light, and they are painted a beautiful color of a deep red that before looked completely washed out, and most of the wallpaper had been torn or destroyed in some way. Almost looked like as though something was burned up here. Now it looks pristine.
Hey, Trinket.
I feel like as she pops up, there's the both unanimous that happens between Delilah and Trinket. She says, "Yeah,
You all just got here, right?
yeah,
You've never been inside of this castle before, right?
no."
Cool. This place is cleaner than when I was here an hour ago.
Do you have a brownie? Are you messing around on me?
I mean, I feel like you'd be able to tell. And I feel like you'd be able to tell they'd probably be hanging around Ian right now.
One is more than enough.
Glares, just the glare, and for Delilah's used to this response from Trinket, but Violet, you see Trinket begin to shift. Her hair becomes more spiky, and her skin becomes a little bit more scaly, more so resembling a lizard-like creature than the happy-go-lucky the happy-go-lucky brownie that you know and love. It's like she's shifting as though she's not liking what is going on. But as she kind of has that response, she kind of goes back to her regular self, just with a
Mm.
huff, and will say, "Well, I don't know exactly what's going on, but maybe uh, we won't know till we see."
Oh, I can't believe I'm about to ask you a question. Are there any creatures besides you that can clean like this? I don't have my book of Vaesen right now. It's still
Well,
packed.
quite frankly, no one can clean as good as I do. But if I had to guess, uh, you could have another brownie here, but they would have made their presence known to me as soon as I
That I
came here.
believe.
Squints eyes. They they would have told me. It's like I'm walking into their home. I would have brought a snack or something to share. It's the laws of hospitality. It's how it works. Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted, there could be another brownie, but I doubt it. There also could be other mischief going on that we don't know about. If you're talking
Mm.
about what you're talking about, it seems like there's more than just cleaning that's been going on. It seems like something's a little fishy. With the the room just shifting. Is this
Mm.
shifting? Has this happened before?
Uh, I did get a little turned around while I was checking this place out, and I don't normally get turned around.
Did you check the doorways?
Um, I feel like I would have as a part of this like exploring I was doing before. So yeah.
Um. So, remembering back, uh, as you're like thinking of, okay, what did they look like, you did see some strangeness.
Mm.
uh it definitely, in your experience, it's not, it looked similar to a portal to the other world, but it was not the same. It seemed like it was trying to cloak something, at least from the runes that you saw. But it was like a gateway, but not a hidden place, but not. And it seems like whatever those etchings were had been damaged at some point.
Um, now that I think about it, I did see a couple of like runes or wards on doorways that looked like they had been damaged or broken at some point, like they were supposed to cloak something. I don't know how active they were, but I did see them here at one point.
Hmm, that seems like some sort of protection ritual of sorts. I don't like that.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't quite understand why we were buying a broken house, but Stuckley has his reasons, I guess, but I don't like that.
I know a bit about putting runes on doors. You'll come to find, Trinket. Um,
Oh, you better not have put a metal nail. If you put a cold iron nail above that door, there's gonna be business.
heaven forbid. Um, yeah, I will more closely investigate the door. I haven't explored much. I've been sort of finishing up cases and organizing, and editing my own doorway. You'll come to
It's
find
almost
out,
as though a
Trinket.
brownie could help you with those things, but no, we gotta be
I
independent.
We have very different feelings on how to organize.
Yeah, I do it well and you don't.
You do it your way.
Anyway, that's beside the
Better
point.
way. You sound like Williams.
Yes, because he's a very smart man. Anyway, so we need to go or something, right?
Yeah.
Uh, as you guys you continue down the hallway, you also begin to hear the lullabies, and as we go back to Celadonna, you have greeted this ghost. You are using your seance ability. uh,
Mm-hmm.
opening yourself. It is at this point where you get to see what the ghost doesn't want you to see. As you have fully opened yourself up, you see past the charade that was playing inside this room. It is completely torched. The walls itself are cemented shut. Uh, they are there are no gaps in this room. The doorway, even you can see, somehow was perfectly nailed shut, including that they had somehow cemented any cracks in the door. You see that hovering before you is a very strange creature, not necessarily native to Ireland. Uh, They hover in the air, long black hair streaming down their face. Uh, they appear to wear ragged white clothing, and their eyes and their face look as though they were victims of some sort of a fire. And they kind of like
Wait,
hover before you as you kind
does
of
it
open
ring?
yourself up.
Does it ring a bell in any way? And also, first of all, I feel like the sight of fire triggers some PTSD in Celadona 100%. Like all of the over like layering of memories of flames in the forest and and elsewhere. Suddenly she's back home. Suddenly she's back being a child like self again. And I think the hopelessness that this ghost is feeling is layering upon what she is feeling as she opens herself up, as she allows herself to be vulnerable. But at the same time, she's read the books, she's an occultist. Does this creature seem familiar at all?
It does. Very much. This is a type of ghost. But specifically, this is a full uh, spiritual manifestation of the folklore would be known as a woman in white. However, something is very wrong. Normally, they can be malevolent spirits. This one seems to want to be benevolent, but has all visage and signs that she was treated as though she was not.
You're not what you seem, just like I am not what I seem. And I really want to help you, but I didn't know there was flame, and it's difficult for me when it comes to fire.
You see, like, the room kind of flicker in and out from what you saw, what she was wanting you to see to the room that you're in now. And you see the room just burst into flames. I need you to make me a fear roll. We have not done this yet in the game, but a fear roll, you can choose either logic or empathy of how you handle fear. Uh,
Okay. I
and
think for once I'm gonna do logic, because with empathy she opens herself up, and then with logic she rationalize. So this is
there are no additional players in the scene, so you don't get bonus dice. So it's just
mhm,
your logic dice, logic only,
okay.
no other skill added.
That is sadly not enough.
Okay, so uh, currently you are terrified. You have four choices currently. Uh, because you are terrified, you can either flee, freeze, faint, or attack. It's basically the fight, flight, or freeze effect as this visage of what happened here just totally takes over Celadonna's mind.
Faint being FEINT
Uh,
or FAINT.
FAINT. Your body goes limp, and a veil of darkness descends over the world. If you are lying in a dark or concealed position, it takes a successful vigilance test to spot you. Luckily, this is a very well lit area currently, but
Mm-hmm.
you would actually faint, like very much in the gothic horror film trope. Uh,
Yeah, I feel like she has let out a scream. There's like for the rest of people who is walking down the hallway, they're hearing the lullaby that transforms into the lullaby itself seems to be harmonized with two different voices, which is strange. But you would assume there perhaps are two people singing the same song together from a singular source, but it would have been a recognizable source, and then that sound transforms into a scream, and that would also would have been two different voices harmonized together, or perhaps in this moment became a bit more disjointed and uh, what's the opposite of harmony? Discordance. So you hear this discordant combination of two different voices screaming together, and then one of them drops and is cut short. Uh, I think in all like full dramatic fashion, I'm gonna choose faint.
Um, Delilah superhears, and I think Super recognizes it as Celadonna. Even though Delilah has been avoiding Celadonna since they've moved to the castle, but we'll get into that later. Um, Trinket, could you go fetch my butler?
We haven't discussed how big this castle is. Would I have heard a scream?
um, due to the weird time magic, it's faint, and in a way to try and lure you there, it sounds like Delilah.
Diabolical.
Oh,
Ugh,
Okay, so is that a yes, or is that a like
That
vigilance?
that is a yes, but it doesn't sound like Celadonna. It sounds like Delilah.
Okay, all right.
excellent.
Um, I think I'm in the middle of reading the papers through for the third time. Have not signed them yet. Want to make absolutely sure. They are still in my hand, and I am um, dashing in a most inappropriate way up those back servant stairs that generally tend to be very steep, and therefore, if you're in a hurry, kind of fast.
You just sprint, running, going up the way, not noticing the last rune being etched in the hallway above. As what the camera sees is the four investigators plus Trinket in the hallway. As the world begins to flicker from that very bright technicolor to that gray dull that it was before. Flicker, 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 and then back to our reality where no investigators are in sight. And we are going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we are going to figure out what and where our investigators are doing and when
uh-oh.
they
I
are.
love that.
We'll see you in a little bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the season premiere of Vaesen, the Morrigan Society. I am so excited to bring us back to the mystery hallway that our investigators and Trinket are now locked in. Uh, Mr. Williams and Co., as you have made your way into the hallway, you see that before you lies a very long hallway with two doors at either end, and there are a variety of doors, three along each side. Um, it looks very different, but similar to what was there before.
Is Teledonna still passed out?
Yes, you probably see like as you have run up in like the
Mhm.
most gothic horror fashion of like a hand just flop out of the doorway. Uh and you know that hand to be Celadonna's.
Yeah, okay, so Delilah with a sort of urgency and care that no one has seen Delilah have, is gonna like speed walk over to Celadon and like take off her jacket and like kneel down. Sorry, I had phlegm from eating pizza earlier. And is gonna like wrap her jacket around Celadon and like shake her shoulder a little. You're gonna miss all the mystery.
How do you wake up, Celadonna?
Oh, depending on whether or not the ghost is still haunting me, I think I don't know if it's Delilah that I see or if someone from the ghost the memory that I see just kind of overlapping with it.
I think like currently your vision has receded from the what the spirit was trying to communicate.
Mhm.
And now you see the exact well-lit hallway, very different than the hallway you entered. Um, and Delilah hovering above. You also take one mental condition. And it starts at the top, and then you go down until you hit your fourth condition. Uh,
Okay.
so, uh, but you this was just a fear value of one. The way fear works is after you have recovered from being terrified. I run terrified a little different because I very much want my players to choose how they react to the fear, so I don't do the die roll unless a player wants to. But basically, after you come out of being terrified, you take a number of conditions equal to the fear value of that monster, which is one. um, you see Delilah above and a very warmly lit hallway filled with portraits and gold filigree along the wallpapers. It looks very similar to the vision that the ghost showed you of the previous room.
Oh, Miss Hall, you're all here.
What
I saw she's misunderstood, I think, and
what did
well,
you see?
I'm disappointed to tell you that I don't think we are gonna get to punch any terrible man this time.
There's always time.
There's a ghost. I think she's just terribly misunderstood.
What
She's not trying to do anything bad, but I think
what
she's being
kind of
treated.
ghost?
Hey, do I have a name for that particular lesson to share?
So, real quick, we're gonna do a roll, and this will be to recall information, a learning logic to see what you remember, because this creature's not presenting how they normally would.
Okay. That is the decided six.
Perfect. That's all you need.
Two
Uh,
sixes, in fact. Yeah.
so this is what is strange. Uh, they appear to slightly resemble a creature known as a mare. It is basically where we get the term nightmare from. Usually, they are women that have, through some means, uh, become a shapeshifter. They turn into a nightmarish creature in the night and will try and basically cause people nightmares. Very bad situation, uh, especially if they get to the point where they have fully transformed into the mare. There is usually a point of time where the this evil entity slowly takes the person over. Uh, what is strange is that normally they are creatures with wings. They are skin and bones, very frail and lanky, with overly large arms and limbs in general. Uh, Wrinkled skin, wearing rags with a bunch of different talismans on them. And this person, however, uh, they look like a person, but they are giving off the energy and your knowledge with the sight of a mare. So something is off.
It's a mare that I saw. Uh, I'm sure you've heard of it.
Uh, you could say that. I have a good bit of experience with mares. Fortunate for us all.
Well, I don't think she's trying to harm any of us. It's just she's in a bit of a pickle, and I was really trying to help her, but I guess I passed out. She's trying to show me something, and well, this looks like it. Is it different? Is this hallway different from before?
Is it Mary?
Yes, it is different.
Okay.
The hallway before looked in very worn down
Oh yeah,
wallpaper.
yeah.
Had been like just almost like strands of wallpaper left. The floorboards were half of them were rotted, so you had to be very careful of walking through. There were certainly no candelabras and uh, candle light uh,
Hmm.
wall attachments. There were no portraits. This looks weird, and
You know,
nothing is in style.
you know what? What I think what Celadonna is going to say. W- it is Trinket here by any chance? If anybody
We
would have
we
done
Oh,
wonders for
we
this
confirmed
hallway.
it's not trinket.
yeah.
Oh,
Was I how like I didn't get shifted anywhere throughout the course of all this, right? Because it would have been that Delilah ran up, and then that Violet was just kind of walking behind. So that probably would have
And
been
then
a moment
probably got
where.
shoved to the side as Williams came dashing
Ah.
past you, absolutely panicked, and then discovered that Delilah was not the one getting up from the ground and is straightening himself up.
Well, that
So
was
I certainly
expedient.
never panicked.
Picking
Violet,
myself up a little
remind
bit.
me again. So you weren't in the hallway yet when it shifted.
Huh? No, I was walking along with Delilah when everything shifted, and then
Okay.
Delilah heard the scream and ran forward.
Okay, so then you would be in the hallway when everything shifted. So you are locked in here as well
Yeah.
with Trinket. You were basically about to let Trinket down when
Hmm.
the chain reaction happened.
Hmm.
Um, you would have seen, just like from your vantage point, the hallway before had no door. There is now a door. That is not where it should be.
Hmm. Haunted. Trinket, you can't build a door suddenly and spontaneously. I know, like, we're kind of harping on whether or not this was you, but like, just calming my nerves. Brownies can't spontaneously. That doesn't happen, right?
No! Are you joking me? Oh God. No, now I'm stuck here with her. And and no, brownies don't do this. this is bad news. This
Hmm.
is real bad news. Oh God, I don't think that Willie's been away from me for too long. Oh, what is he gonna do? And she's just
I'm sure he'll
pacing
manage.
on Violet's shoulder. Sorry, what did Delilah say?
I said I'm sure he'll manage.
Just the most grouchy face from uh, Trinket. She said, I don't know what's going on here, but something's bad. I don't feel the connection as it were. Brownies, they got a sense for the people they care about. They can figure out where they are. It's a very nice little talent of mine, but I can't feel them.
So you didn't do this, Trinket? I was sure if anybody was able to transform the hallway from what it was to what it is now, it had to be you.
I'm
Oh,
good, but I'm not turn back time good.
s- have we traveled through time?
I don't know, but this doesn't look good. And this doesn't look right. And that certainly is not the style of today.
I told
Well,
you things were gonna get exciting, Williams.
well, as
Hearing you
usual,
scream was all the excitement I needed for the day.
I didn't scream. It was Celadonna.
Of course you
I
did.
let
He's
I
going to
let the
wander off and start
spirit
looking through doors.
I let a spirit take over me for a moment just now, and she seems to be from the past, and she was trying to get away. She was trying to be anywhere but here, and I was just trying to help. I didn't even get her name.
I mean, you wouldn't have, wouldn't you?
Well, she's not what she seems. Well, at the very least, she's not what other people have treated her to be.
Okay.
She's just trying. I think just like the rest of us,
What do you think she wants?
just some level of freedom and to be who she wants to be. To get away. That's all she said to me, and she was trapped here. I think there was a lot of fire, and it was just getting a bit hot, and I don't really do well with fire. I think it's probably why I passed out.
Okay.
Oh, if we look around the room, does anything in the room look burnt?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So the doorway that Celadonna had fainted in, um, it is strange because it stepping into the room, both Williams, I think you were trying to check some things out too, or were you trying
Yeah,
another doorway?
he's wandering off and trying not to show how flustered he is, and he's going to start looking through, not going through, but looking through the doors along the hallway to try and get a sense of where we are.
I
Okay,
think.
we'll come back to
Yep.
Williams, Delilah, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna come to Violet in a second. You were going to say
Yeah,
something.
I think Delilah is gonna specifically look at the doorway because Trinket mentioned things about doorways. Delilah knows some things about doorways, and also he investigation.
Nice. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Oh my god.
Violet, as you're stepping into the room, um, due to the sight, you are seeing like what I would consider the holes in the matrix.
Hmm.
Um, you see what the spirit wants you to. You see that it is a beautiful room. There it is filled with candlelight. There's a roaring fireplace. There is a beautiful vanity set up. It appears to be nighttime from what it looks like outside. But every now and then you see one of the pillows are singed. Uh, that part of the bed frame has broken off due to fire damage.
Hmm.
Um,
I got a 6.
Heck yeah, Delilah. Uh, as you are kind of looking at the doorway, specifically in question of the room that Celadonna was in, uh, this room has a sealing rune on it. Basically, a magical spell that would have uh, basically caused any airway or any gap in the wall to be completely sealed off. Uh, Generally, what one would do when dealing with a mare in your experience.
Celadonna, you said you saw fire in this room?
It was. I felt I was having a hard time breathing. It was here. Whatever happened here, it was bad for her.
And a question: Am I? I'm not the only one who sees the holes in the matrix when I look around this room, right?
No, you're not.
Cool.
Everyone would be able to see this.
Cool. All right. I was just making sure. Yeah. It'd be like, well, I mean, every so often this place does look like it burned down pretty bad. So that makes sense with what you said before.
Whoever was here, she was trapped here, not just to this location, but to a time. I think. Does that make sense? And
I
now
feel like she was caught in the
we're
moment where she was burning.
I I suppose, and she was singing this lullaby, this ancient and old and sad. And now supposedly we're trapped here too. And I reckon we get her out of here and get her out of this moment. And that's the only way we could get ourselves out too as well. I am not even making sense to myself.
So wait, but if this is the moment where she died or where something awful happened, then why is nothing awful happening?
Yet.
Hey, Mr. Williams. As you are looking through the doors, um, on one of the sides of the door, like as you're like kind of looking through like the little keyholes, they look like different like guest rooms. Very much a 17th century style. Uh, they all look well lived in, albeit empty. But at the end of the hall, there's basically three doorways on each wall has three doorways. And then there's a hall at there is a door at one end of the hallway and the opposite end of the hallway. The furthest away from you doorway, that is right next to one of the hall exit doors, uh, you hear scratching coming from behind that door.
Okay, so step one, anything I can see through the keyhole. Step two is the door locked.
You look through the keyhole, and you can. Uh, you see a strange winged creature with long, stringy hair hovering above the ground, counting individual pieces of flax.
Okay, Steve feels like he should know what this is. It's ringing a bell and not quite getting there. I have a feeling that Williams would definitely know what we're talking about here.
Absolutely. So, you actually would have encountered this in your time with Miss Delilah. In fact, the Hall family has instructed you, should anything like this appear, always keep a pocket filled with some sort of grain or sand that can be individually counted. sheer amount that you have, the longer you have time to get Delilah away from whatever this thing is.
Okay. Um, okay, so I think I step away for a moment to report this quietly to the rest of the group. Meanwhile, Violet beat me to the punch earlier, having a biscuit for Trinket. But I'm sure I would probably have one just, I've got a biscuit in case Trinket comes over. I've got an apple in case, the horse is hungry. And I am going to crumble it into as many crumbs as I possibly can, like in a handkerchief or something. I don't have sand, but teeny tiny little pieces.
Perfect. You crumble it into each like teeny tiny grains and crumbs and collect it into a handkerchief. As you all are standing in this hallway, you do hear the scratching coming from the far end. Um, you also see in the one bedroom that you have open at the moment, um, what looks like. So you've seen the writing above the doorway. You also found, I would say, Violet, as you're kind of like looking in this room trying to find the things that are out of place. You would find a strange poultice uh, that definitely screams of some sort of witchcraft.
You know Delilah's going to the door that's making scratching noises. You know she's going there.
Williams reports what he saw, and make sure you're aware of what we're dealing with. Have the rest of you told him what you've seen, particularly the rune in the ceiling?
Oh yeah, Delilah would have mentioned the ceiling rune on the ceiling.
Okay. Williams has a long-winded roundabout way of saying it, but the question that I'm ultimately trying to get at is, do we think, if we think she was trapped in the moment of the fire, do we think the rune came first, in which case fire needs air and the rune is airtight, or was she trapped here later?
My theory is that she was trapped in there with the fire.
I feel like she might have had to, it, because if it was a fire, right, this area would be far more destroyed than the way it looks. Like if it was a wildfire.
If the fire was just just in that room and made sure it didn't leave that room.
I thought for a while that maybe she set a fire in the room herself in order to get out of here. But if it was sealed, because I saw the way the room is sealed, right? And does it look like it was sealed from the inside or outside?
It was sealed from the outside in.
Yeah. So she will share that since it was sealed from the outside, I think someone locked her in and tried to get rid of her.
Let me get a look at that pulse. The witchcraft. Delilah would not say that in a sing-song voice. That's just Lewis's whimsy.
Well, I would have been looking at the witchcraft stuff with you because, being a witch and all that.
All right.
Yeah, you both can make checks. I will say, Celadonna, you're going to get more information on the herbs and things used and the way it's used in witchcraft. Delilah, you're getting information from your own personal experience.
So what are we?
So this is sorry, my bad. This is a observation empathy. Or actually, no, sorry. I would say either learning logic, observation, empathy, medicine, precision. You're gonna get different scores depending on
I'm
what you
gonna
do.
go with learning logic.
I'm gonna do medicine precision.
Okay, I got 2 6s.
Me too.
Let's go.
Epic. You guys both get 2 questions each to ask me about the poultice. As you guys are thinking of these questions, Violet and Mr. Williams, what are you guys doing as they are kind of like taking apart the poultice, seeing what's inside? You see Delilah writing down in her trusty journal. Celadonna's got her rowan tree wand out and is piecing through.
Um,
I think I'm keeping an eye on the creature through the through the keyhole. It seems odd, but very welcome and convenient that the critter already has something to be busy counting.
It's like, come on, Williams, don't be so uptight. He's stuck in there for a while now. You know what, Williams? I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I feel like you used to be a troublemaker back in your day.
I never.
So tell me, if you were a big, bad secret hidden somewhere inside of this place, where would you be?
Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
This sparks something.
Okay.
Go ahead and for me roll a vigilance logic check.
Vigilance logic. Okay. Okay, that's 6 dice and nothing.
Oh.
Would you like to push? You would take a mental condition for it, but it would give you a second chance.
Could be fun.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I can't possibly fail on a total of 12 dice, can I?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
That'd be
be
crazy what happened to
Okay.
you.
Okay,
One.
what did I say that
Barely.
was the last time? We got it?
So 1 6.
Hey, there you go.
No.
That's all you need.
Yep.
There's the door's not going to become unlocked, so that's good. But so as you are thinking of like that question that Violet brought up,
and being a little bit more blustery because the first mental condition is angry.
perfect. You think, and it makes you feel like to check the keyhole again. And what you realize is at every keyhole you checked, you realized a consistency. Each of these rooms are exactly the same.
Okay.
Like to the letter. It's not just these are a bunch of guest rooms. These rooms are like carbon copied and in rows.
Okay. Williams pulls out some piece of something. What it is isn't really important. Gonna, assuming that the doors are not locked, going to open one door, toss whatever it is into a place where you could see it through the keyhole, and look through one of the other keyholes. Are they identical or are they all the same room? Is what he's trying to figure out.
They are identical. They are purely identical. And what's strange is when you look into each room, you realize that there's even different times of day in each of these rooms. Just like seeing the light shine in, there's more candlelight in some, there's less and more bright in others. Uh, you even see like if you really strain your eye looking through the keyhole, it seems like there is like some sort of winter or not winter, sorry, a evening gown that is placed on the bed, like ready for a evening dinner. But this room is exactly the same. You find the same picture frame, the same rug, the little idiosyncrasies like scrapes in the floorboards.
Okay. The same dressing gown or
Same dressing gown.
okay. Um, I think if he notices that some of the scrapes and things are a little bit different, um, he's going to start opening doors for a better look, and try and figure out if he can figure out like an order. Like, did one, this room happened and then that one and then that one? Is it that kind of a, if you can figure out some logic of why these rooms are identical, but not quite.
Yeah. So which one do you open? So like for example, along the left hallway is doors 1, 2, and 3. Along the right side of the hallway is 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
The creature counting the flax is in door 6. And the one Celadonna had opened was door 1.
Okay. You said that they're in different times of day. To the best of my knowledge, my ability to tell, the earliest in the day.
So you actually go to door number 4. The If we go near to far, it is near where you entered the hallway and to the right. As you open that doorway, you see a woman fast asleep in bed. She is has all kinds of scrapes and bruising that looks like as though she got into a scuffle, but her gown is pristine. But her body looks as though she had been like running through a forest and heavily damaged.
Okay. Very quietly close the door, and go get Soledana, who has spoken to somebody on this hall already. Maybe there's a new friend.
Uh, Delilah and Celadonna,
Mm-hmm.
what questions would you
I
like
think
answered?
first question I have is there anything in the posts that screams like it was used like for like malevolent purposes? Like what kind of witchcraft are we looking at here?
The poultice itself is not malevolent. In fact, it seems like it was some sort of a poultice to uh, calm someone.
Does second question um will it still work now?
Yes.
Okay.
Celadonna, what questions would you have?
Yeah, my two questions are first, what memory that's unrelated to the actual purpose of this ritual that the poultice is used for does it carry?
You would know that this poultice is supposed to induce sleep. It is supposed to not only induce sleep, calm one's mind to go to sleep, and it's supposed to ward off any negative entities.
Um, my second question is, what can I do to change the outcome of its original purpose to help?
Ooh, you would know that the problem with the poultice is it was trying to protect the person from something. It was not made in a way that would protect the person from themselves.
Okay. Yeah, I think understanding that Celadonna is gonna try to um like search herself first and foremost, and with her own understanding, her own connection to the natural world and plant lives, will try to alter the content of the poultice with all of the herbs that she carry on her person, and try to add that additional protection from the person themselves.
You are able to, on the vanity, find a lock of hair. Like probably, I would say it's not a lock of hair, but like basically hair found in on a hairbrush. You can kind of pick that out and add it. You also notice, I would say, another thing you would know because it's you're wanting to use this poultice to not only protect from evil entities, but to protect them against themselves. Um, you also find a scrap. I would say actually, Mr. Williams would have been able to find this. A scrap of fabric that appears from the creature uh, that was like kind of like stuck in one
Uh,
of like the doors.
Inquiry about the the piece of fabric. Um, does it look particularly like the fabric that a mayor would wear?
Hmm.
Okay.
I think
And
she
or
kind
like
of,
the dressing gown.
Uh, it is like a mixture of both. So, the piece you find, I would say, is specifically from the mayor's outfit, but a mayor's clothing is based on what the person wears. So it is like the nightgown that you saw in each of these rooms, but it is also uh, ragged and torn, and it is just encrusted in dirt and grime, and it is like completely changed from a like a beautifully maintained white color to more of the color of mud.
By the way, what time of day is it in the bedroom where my friends met
uh
the ghost?
it appears to be morning. And as you're kind of like sitting in the uh bedroom, you see her wake up, doesn't notice you at all.
hmm,
She like stretches, and you see her kind of wince. But she goes and picks, like, opens a drawer next to her and writes in a book. You see her do that.
Okay. Um, as I'm watching, I'm looking just to see anything on like her fingernails, like that might indicate that she was scratching at herself or something.
So her fingernails look fine. Uh, they don't look like she was like physically harming herself. Um, Go ahead and make me a medicine precision check.
Okay. One success.
One success. Um, in your experience as a investigator of Vaesen, there are some Vaesen that can transpose damage. So if they take damage in one form, it ends up in another form. It appears like that is what happened.
While Williams is looking through this, Violet's going through all of her stuff.
I
Like
love it.
just I'm used to being like practically invisible, but if I'm fully invisible, while this woman is doing her own thing, waking up and going through her day, I'm looking through her drawers, I'm looking under her bed, kind of taking a catalog of what's in here and seeing if anything stands out.
Absolutely. As you are kind of looking through her stuff, and it's really strange. It's like this scene just keeps repeating. So
Hmm.
it like early dawn, she's asleep, wakes up, stretches, writes in her book for about 15 minutes, and then the cycle repeats. Um, but you start going through her stuff. You find a very beautiful ornate box under the bed.
Hmm.
You find while the manifestation is writing in a book, you actually find the book in the drawer physically there. Um, the manifestation keeps replaying a memory, is what it looks like. And from your experience and what you've seen, this very much feels like some sort of residual memory. Celadonna, it feels a much stronger one than the one that you first encountered with
Mhm.
Liam. Uh, this one seems to be like an actual like soul's residual memory versus like an emotional imprint. Uh, but you find a journal that it has the a giant raven that has been engraved, like or not engraved, sorry, embossed in the leather. Um, with there's no lock on it. There's just like a simple leather tie to keep it shut. Um, but you do
It's not
notice.
entirely appropriate, but Miss Violet, could you take a look?
Was already opening it.
It was already open. I think Delilah's gonna like kind of loom over Violet's shoulder.
Hmm.
As you are peering over the book, uh, it looks like a diary, but not so much a diary of this is what I did today. It is more of these are the symptoms I'm experiencing. And you see that there is writing in one handwriting that seems like a letter to someone writing out the experiences. And then below that, like the second half of the paper, is a response detailing what she should try next.
Uh, are the symptoms giving the symptoms when someone's turning into a mare?
Yes.
Okay. Um.
No check needed. You immediately clock it.
Yeah. Delilah sure would. Um. Does anyone have a pen or a quill?
I have a bit of a burnt charcoal, if that
That'll
helps.
do. Now, normally I am against tampering with evidence, but it is worth seeing if we draw in this journal, if it will show up in that journal and disrupt the loop. Just a theory, but I mean, I know about mares. And usually there's a ritual involved to get rid of a mare. You have to accuse them of being one right as they're turning back into being their human form. But if she's human now, we either need to get her to shift into being a mare or catch her at the right moment. So I think we kind of have to piss off this ghost.
I think based on my interaction with her, she just wants a bit of independence. If that makes any sense. Could I offer something to her?
Well, there is one thing you can offer a mare, but I don't know if that's
What would that
something
be?
I would recommend for someone such as you. Um, sometimes it's temporary, sometimes not. But to get rid of a mare, you propose marriage to the mare.
Hmm.
That
I
sounds
don't.
like the
Never.
opposite of what she wants, though. She wants to be free.
That's True. A marriage is the opposite of freedom, as far as I'm concerned.
For those that would like to, you can give me a logic learning roll, uh, or I would say an empathy inspiration. Just trying to figure out the intricacies of how the magic works.
And then
I'm gonna check it here.
in the journal, Delilah does write, "Can we speak?"
Hmm.
6s.
Would you say to
Um,
roll?
Learning logic says you know the lore of
Yeah.
the mayor. They do not,
Okay,
so
cool.
I'm having them basically find that
Mm.
out.
Okay. I've got a
But
6.
as you're writing in this, you get a response. This is and what it's written. This is a new handwriting. Who am I speaking to?
Delilah's gonna write Delilah Hall.
Uh, you see written back. I don't know anyone in the Hall family by that name.
Different time.
Uh, it is the magic parchment version of a dot dot dot. But you also see written back uh, a different time.
Hmm.
Are we thinking, you know, are we, if we're fully thinking it's a different time, then why don't we ask just directly when they think it is?
Okay, yeah, Delilah will write that down.
And what year is it?
It is 1653.
Hmm.
Different time indeed. Delilah is gonna write. Right now we are separated by time. Why don't you show yourself?
Uh, Written out. Uh, I'm afraid that might be a bit difficult. I currently reside in Dublin.
I'm gonna try to chime in, and I think Celadonna is going to say actually she's going to sing a little bit in the tune of the lullaby that she's heard before, and just goes, "Hope is the thing with feathers that perch in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stop at all." I'm just vibing here, but she's then going to stop and say, "I reckon the thing that you want the most is freedom. Am I correct? And from my experience and my learning that the recipe that leads to freedom are two things: imagination and hope. That's all you need."
As you're saying that, it is strange. When you are singing the lullaby, it is as though time is rewinding, and you see a winged creature. And like I said, if it's mid morning as she's like finishing writing this,
Mm-hmm.
your speaking isn't necessarily having effect on her, but it is more of having effect on the memories you're seeing. When you sing the lullaby, it moves it back into night, like just before dawn. Uh, as you see a winged creature in basically at first it's gaseous form, kind of floating in through the cracks in the windows. But then you see it emerge, hover before the woman sleeping, and just the gas just fully overtakes the woman, transferring all of the damage that this creature took onto the woman.
Can I try to interrupt this? This is something I think that Williams will strongly not like.
Real quick,
That's never
I
stopped you
wanna
before.
It's never
what
stopped Delilah, but never will.
what did Violet and Celadonna get on their checks?
I did not
Oh,
get anything.
I got a 6.
Celadonna.
And 2 6s on inspiration.
Perfect. And Celadonna, which skill did you use?
Empathy. I think
Empathy
inspiration.
inspiration.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so both you and Williams get this. As far as a mare is concerned, uh, a mare transforms into this creature because they are longing for something. It is something that they can sometimes be longing for freedom to do what they want, freedom to marry who they want. But there's a
Mhm.
very, very intense longing in that it cannot basically they can become cursed from this longing. Now, sometimes it comes directly because of that deep need. Other times it can be a curse put on someone. Um, but Delilah, so basically, when you try and marry it, you're not so much marrying the person that the mayor and the person are like two separate things.
Mhm.
The mayor is the curse, the person is the person. When you are proposing to the mayor, you are making it separate from the person. Uh, Delilah,
I,
you want to get it? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say there was one thing I wanted to ask in the book before we moved on too far,
Yes,
which would have been what was her name?
Kiva.
Kiva.
And do you share that with the rest of us, Kiva? About regarding her name, that is.
Are you asking me if I would share that with everyone around her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say yeah. Her name
I
is
feel like we were all huddled around the journal anyway.
Yeah.
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 It's like a Ouija board in the center of the room. It's kind of
Uh,
like
what's interesting, Violet, as you ask what was her name,
Mhm.
um, the book writes, well, the person I'm trying to help's name is Kiva.
Mhm.
And it's at that exact point, Delilah, you're trying to to interrupt this.
Yeah, disrupt the mayor, which I'm sure will go great for me.
Let's see. Go ahead and how are you wanting to do this? I think that is the
Um,
better question.
it is this something that's visible, and like do I notice what Delilah is trying to do?
I mean, what you know of Delilah
Yeah.
is that you've seen Delilah in a sort of fighting thing more than I think a lot of people have.
Hmm.
Um, or sort of the way that Delilah gets when she's about to do something risky or like
Yeah,
reckless. There's a sort of like
because
excitement that's not normally there. And I think Delilah is like what Delilah is trying to do is get there before like the transferal of like damage
mhm.
be like completed.
Okay, so I think this is something Celadonna, like based on our previous interactions and shared experiences together, she would understand. And so I would like to help. So Celadonna is trying to help Delilah interrupt this thing by trying to distract the mayor. And by saying, I offer you freely my proposal of marriage if that's how it operates, but what I offer you freely is not a regular sort of marriage. What I offer you is the freedom to leave. What I offer you is the option, not an obligation.
So, Delilah's gonna interrupt you.
So that comes out of your mouth. You propose
Mhm.
marriage to the mayor. This is a sequence of things that are going to happen. You see time rewind in front of you of like all the days, all the little pieces of fragments of memory kind of play out. Uh, you see that the mare kind of like whips its head towards you as these memories are cycling through in this room. And it is going to start darting at Celadonna. Uh,
Delilah is gonna step in the way. Um,
as Delilah steps in the way, you see the mare grasp Delilah around the shoulders, enveloping them into this dark miasma. And you see this right before your very eyes, Celadonna. Uh, she disappears into this black miasma as this billowing smoke begins to recede. There is no Delilah, there is no Mare, and you are still trapped in the middle of this time loop hallway. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Uh, Real quick, I would love to. I can't do this amazing show without a wonderful cast. Uh, we can go around and share all the amazing things that you guys are doing. We are going to start with Ran.
Hi, I am Ran. I use she, her pronouns, and I have been and delighted to be Celadonna. You can find me on Blue Sky as Burdick Inspiration or on startplaying.games as the Lantern Keeper. I am a theater director and playwright based in New York City, so if you ever happen to be here, you might catch me on the stage somewhere. And so pleased to have you all here watching this incredible story unfold, and looking forward to seeing you in the next weeks.
And you can popcorn it to another person.
I'm gonna popcorn it to my possible roommate, Delilah.
My possible roommate. That's a great way to phrase it. I have been Lewis Wolf. I am a disabled artist slash voice actor slash podcast producer. Current projects I have right now is Blood in the World. We are currently producing the pilot. It is a audio drama about Latin American folklore mythology. Right now, we have our sister podcast, Myth of the Week, where we highlight each myth that's going to be in season 1 and discuss it. We are on, I think, week 8 out of 12 right now. I am also producer of microfiction audio drama All at Sea. I don't know if there's much else going on. I am a guest for this campaign. I will not be here next week, but I will be here for the other 2 sessions after that. And I am gonna popcorn over to Crimson.
Hi everyone, Crimson Soul, he, him. I've been Violet Eklund for this adventure here. You can catch me Mondays on twitch.tv/Valdrianth, where I'm in a cyberpunk Thirsty Sword Lesbians game. And then on Tuesdays, sorry, that's Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern. On Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, you can catch me at Stat Monkey Presents, where I am playing a super an assassin of superheroes in a superhero zombie apocalypse, Rotted Capes, with our GM here, Mary, and with Steve. And other than that, you can catch me on the 18th at noon EST, where I'll be GMing here at Nerds with Dice, a Kids on Bikes, Kids on Brooms game that is themed around Captain Planet for Earth Day.
Nice.
Cool.
And with that, I pass it to Steve.
I'm Steve. You can find me on the socials at Tall Halfling RPG over on Threads. As mentioned, you can find me on Tuesdays with Crimson and Mary, seeing what happens when zombies and superheroes collide. Have a number of one shots coming up in the next few weeks, but have more details about those as we get a little bit closer. But if you enjoyed tonight's story, tonight's story so far, you might enjoy a Call of Cthulhu scenario, or recently published over on Drive-Thru, called Arkham Fire. That's also very much about time loops in a house that's fractured across rooms and across time. So if you enjoyed this, you might enjoy that as well. And I'll toss it back over to Mary.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. I've been your GM this evening. And I am super excited to be playing with these wonderful folks. As far as where you can find me online at the Nerd on Wheels everywhere on social media. As our wonderful cast has said, we have Tuesdays. You can find me over on Stat Monkey Presents for Rotted Cape, Rotted Tropics, Rotted Cape Second Bite, the superhero zombie campaign set in the Florida Keys. You can also find me every Sunday over on Other Doc's Twitch channel, where we are playing season 2 of Lords of Gossamer and Shadow. We are a bunch of godlike entities trying to travel the multiverse and stay away from our problems in this surprisingly cozy Amber Diceless type game. You can also find me Saturdays starting on April 4th uh, in Fields of the Dead, where we are coming off of the huge finale of season 1, where my character's wife died, and now we have to pick up the pieces and figure out where to go next. And there's a real creepy cult nearby that's going to be causing problems. As far as what to expect next on Nerds with Dice, we've got a lot of fun shows coming up, including we have Fields of the Dead, as I mentioned, on Saturdays, starting at 8 p.m. Central, where we catch back up with our ragtag crew of survivors in the Walking Dead world, set in the Midwest as they try to survive. We also have a new show coming up on April 10th, uh, is Fantastic Realms, ran by Sin. It is sure to be an amazing game. Definitely check that out. And that is all we have for tonight, folks. So we will see you next time, next Thursday, same time, same place, to figure out what happened to Delilah and how to get out of this creepy hallway.
I
See you
won't
next
know
time.
until the next session.
I know you gotta
Mhm.
wait two,
I gotta
two
wait 2
amounts of
weeks.
time. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Well.
All right.